what you've got.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to What's So Funny, a show that probes the minds of the people who make the funny. This week's guest has been described as one of Canada's funniest and smartest comedians. It's friend of the show, making his return, Mr. Chris Gordon. And of course, your host is Vancouver's premier writer on comedy, interviewer of comedians, which is weird because I've only ever seen him laugh at a child's misfortune. It's Mr. Guy McPherson.
And occasionally an introduction by Sam Toning. I will laugh at.
Occasionally.
Inside.
Yes.
Inside. Okay. Thank you. And yes, Chris Gordon, one of Canada's smartest comics, is our guest here tonight.
I am thank you.
And
As
you know
can
that's
tell.
going to be on his webpage because now it's in the ether.
Full quote, please, Co-op Radio.
Please welcome Canada's smartest comic, Chris Gordon. I am thank you. I love that I got smartest. God, so many people are going to be mad about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you've been taking photos here.
Oh, yeah.
And if anyone wants to add a photo to the Facebook page, it's What's So Funny on Co-op Radio.
On
Facebook,
CFRO.
What's So Funny on CFRO Facebook page. And we started with a photo of Chris and I, and then it's just deteriorated in the moments leading up to the show. Lots of photos.
Yeah, I'm posting a photo of you talking about the photos right now.
Perfect.
How meta.
I don't know what that means. Anyways, Canada's smartest comic.
Chris Gordon. Now he's the smartest, not one of the
Well,
smartest.
you got to make waves somehow, right?
Yeah.
Chris Gordon was a guest here back in 2014.
Oh.
And you'd never know it because I went to his website today. He lists all his podcast appearances, and that one is not on it.
Yeah, super embarrassed to be on again. Anyways, well, I don't know how you do this, but this also will not be appearing on my website
But
soon.
good on you for coming down to the downtown east side.
Ugh.
I know you're a bit of a coward.
Smartest person.
Smart.
A bit of a
comic.
smart person.
And
to not come down.
Because when we did this in 2014, we walked across the street from, was it Yuck Yucks 4 years ago, or was it the Comedy Mix?
I think it was the comedy mix.
Okay,
but I don't know.
we walked across the street on Burrard Street to the Wall Center, I think it was.
Yeah.
We said, we got to find someplace. We're just going to record an hour conversation, which we ran on the program. And we went to the lobby of this hotel, and we sat. We had a good time. We listened to...
That's when I learned that you have super hairy legs.
Was I wearing shorts? Or
Yeah,
they just popped out through the pants?
You were wearing like tights, and they were like poking through the leggings.
Right.
Yeah.
And we had a good conversation until we were kicked out. Well, we continued to have it.
Do you guys mind if I smoke, by the way?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't.
Because you're in a completely different room.
Exactly. I got to ask, that was 4 years ago you were on.
Yeah.
You were at the Comedy Mix that weekend.
Correct.
Were you headlining or were you co-headlining?
I can't even... I was thinking about that today.
No matter
and I
what he
can't remember.
does, he's the headliner.
Thank
I might have been at the
you.
show
Doesn't
if you were
matter.
co-headlining with
Oh.
Chris James.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I do
Phil
kind
Hanley
of...
hosting, right?
Oh, that was a good show, except for you being on or whatever.
No, I wasn't on. I was sitting
okay.
in the audience.
Oh, in the audience. It's a better place for you.
Oh, that was 100%.
How much swearing can we do?
Oh, we should have covered that before.
Okay.
If we tell our listeners, if Chris needs to, sometimes he's got to get it out.
Yeah.
So if that kind of thing bothers you, take a pass this week.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's Daylight Savings Day today anyway, so maybe people don't know that this is What's So Funny.
So all the swearing, we can do all the swearing. If
You
we
can do
want.
all of it, but,
Okay.
just don't be gratuitous about it.
No, okay. I don't know what
Okay.
that means, but go on.
You're the smartest. So, do you need to? You need to drop...
I don't know. We'll see what...
It's on your website too. It says you're clean, or you work clean. I think that's right on the
Is
front
that-
page.
Yeah, it is Clean Comic. Canada's smartest cleancomic.com is my website.
By the way, your website is what?
HilariousComedian.com.
Yeah, hilarious comedian.
Yeah.
to you.
You can also get there by putting in bestkaratebody.com or howyouguyesdoingtonight.com. So
You got that?
yeah, I got that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that one was available. Weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're surprised I got that.
Wait.
And not hilarious comedian. A lot of people go, hilarious comedian, how'd you get that?
No,
Yours is
I thought you would have gone for chrisgordoncomedy.com or something.
chrisgordon.com.comedy. Chris Gordon was taken. So
How
I
you
play the
guys
actor.
doing tonight?
Yeah.
.com.
Yeah.
Doing or doing? Did you get both?
No, there's so many to get because that is a problem. How you say, and I realized the other day I was like, oh, I'll go, how are you guys doing? But I did, how you guys doing tonight.com.
That's
Yeah,
good.
So
you got how you guys doing tonight.com. Canada's smartest comedian, everybody.
I'm joking on my own spit. Okay. Smart.
So how you doing, Chris?
Pretty good. I got a raging boner.
Excellent.
I don't know. I just want the viewers to know. They're not viewers. Yeah, listeners. But I need them
But with
to
all
know.
those photos, they kind of are viewers.
Oh, yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah. But I do every podcast fully erect. And then if it starts to go down, pretty much it's over.
Just
so
look over at Sam.
hopefully you two can keep it going for me. You know what I mean?
That's-
And I mean raging. By the way, if you're listening out there, like if you're picturing a boner right now, which most of us are, let's be honest, it's that time of the night. This is like full out veins, like throbbing, red.
I
Guy,
imagine
you
it's
still
as
okay?
hairy
A note
as
to-
guy's legs.
A note to the CRTC. He still hasn't sworn, so
It's just theater.
I thought
he's good.
when you said a note to the CRTC, I thought you said, and no two boners are the same. That's what I thought you were going to say. And I'm like, see, he has a point right there.
So do you and your parents.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So where do we go from here? Daylight savings time. Are you a fan or not? You're from Alberta.
I didn't even know what happened today.
You're from Alberta.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's their position on that.
We're getting political now?
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty smart. I should get into this. We don't go by time in Alberta. It's pretty cool. We just do what we want, that sort of thing. It's kind of fun. I had no idea. It changed. Did we go back? Did we go forward? What is it? Spring ahead, fall back? Is that right?
Yeah. So we went ahead.
Okay, so we're in the future now. Oh, Sam Toning found one of the best.
Tonic.
Okay, well, I'll say what I want. All right.
Is that you?
Toning. That's
Is that a
me.
picture of-
There's a crazy zit on my face there.
A young Chris Gordon. What,
Yeah, that's a
what
junior
era
high.
is that?
Junior high. That's
Why is it online?
because I like to show everybody about like my website is very touching and nostalgic. It's about my life, and so you get to see me grow up. And so that's one of the pictures as I grow up, and then I develop fully into Danny Glover by the end.
Were you a funny kid in junior high?
Yeah, I always like to make people laugh. Yeah,
Always.
always.
Yeah, because I remember seeing you before. I think we talked
You
about
used to
this.
follow me around when I was in junior high. Right?
What school did you go to? I'm always
Well,
interested.
yeah, Guy knows a lot about high
What
school.
school in Calgary did you go to?
I went to which that was junior
High school,
High school. Sir Winston Churchill.
Oh, wow. We have one, too.
Yeah, the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, really?
And they're the Bulldogs here.
Really?
Yeah.
God,
Well,
we should
obviously.
fight. What do you mean?
Well, Winston Churchill, isn't that his nickname or something?
Oh, yeah. His nickname was like the Spaniard or whatever. The Spaniel.
Spanish Bulldogs.
That's the one.
Yeah, but that photo of you from junior high, that's kind of what you looked like when you started stand-up. You had that clean-shaven, short hair.
Well, that was sort of like that photo
Minus
was more
the zit.
long. Yeah, minus the zit. I had the faux hawk. I used to come on and say, "Sorry, I'm late. I was just getting my hair done at Dairy Queen." That was a joke I did, and
That's why you had the haircut.
Yeah,
For
I
that
only
joke.
exactly, and that never changed. Now I just whatever I'm wearing, whatever I look like, those are all my jokes. It's all for the art form.
Do you still do that Dairy Queen joke? It's
No, because
you should, because then you're kind of this weird comic. Like, it would be funny just to get the reaction, because that's the rhythm of a joke.
That's
It is a
true.
joke, but people would just go, "Ha ha! Wait, what?
What?
Like your hair at Dairy Queen?" Because now, if you don't know, if you haven't gone to the What's So Funny on CFRO Facebook page, see a picture of Chris. He's long blonde hair,
Luscious.
and a lot of split ends, and
Okay.
and a red beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
You're the
different.
Ginger Jesus.
Ginger Jesus, yeah, I do say that. I also use one of your. You said weirdest. You said weirdest comics. One of the weirdest comics in the country, and then I use that on my website. That probably is on my website somewhere. Thanks to you. Also, I like putting it after in my bio when it says I've done the Red Clay Comedy Festival in Atlanta, and then there's a quote from you that says the Georgia Straight, and I'm like, that's gonna fool so many people.
Oh, it is,
It's gonna
because
look so good.
years ago I interviewed Bob Odenkirk over the phone, and he was confused, legitimately, because I guess his publicist just says, "Here, talk to this person."
Yeah.
And Georgia Strait, and he was thinking he was talking to someone from Atlanta.
Yes, I wondered if that would happen.
Perfect.
I have a very interesting Bob Odenkirk story.
Oh yes,
He hated me.
did he?
Yeah. So
wait, because now he's on Fargo, which is filmed in Calgary.
Right, yeah.
Is this from that?
Yeah, so he would drop in at some of the shows sometimes, and I was hosting one night, but I was hosting as this character I did for a while called Danzel Washington. And Danzel Washington was this like super dorky dad type of character, like dorky print shirt tucked into khakis, but he had an affliction that he needed to tell the audience about. He was allergic to energy drinks. And the problem was with the things like Red Bull is it made him come huge. And then there was 5 more minutes. Sam's nodding his head in approval. Or no, that's the other way.
Oh, totally.
And then there was 5 minutes about him trying to repair like cum holes in his wall and all this stuff. Really good comedy.
Yeah, really smart.
Really
Groundbreaking. Yeah. Really innovative.
Really smart stuff.
Yeah.
And I hosted as this character the whole night, and it was, I mean, as a character on its own spot on the show, it was fun. I had some like really great sets with it, and I kind of work through them, and then I move on. I think I was just bored of my stand up, and I hosted this guy, and it was a bit rough, and Odenkirk was on there, and I introed him, and he like kind of made fun of me right away and said something about how he won't be saying cum holes during his set. And then when he left, somebody gave me a line that I thought was really good. I was like, everybody give it up. Wasn't that amazing? Give it up for David Cross. And I was like, he was amazing on Arrested Development, just like totally messed up his, I don't think he heard that. But later I find out through other people that Odenkirk, because he went to a different show, and some of the Calgary comics were talking to him and said, oh yeah, there was this MC, he was terrible. He reminded me of these guys when I first started. They were just like crude and awful. And like, then they're like, oh, what was his name? And they're like, Chris Gordon. And he's like, and they're all like, I think Chris is, most people like seem to like Chris, and which was nice of them to say. And then
They got you back.
They did have my back, yeah. And then he's like, oh, it was just reminded me when I first, and then they said, you know that he was playing a character, right? That's not him. And he had no clue. He thought that dude was me. And then I thought it was a full giveaway, that it was easily like, this is a character, blah, blah, blah. But he believed, and then he said he loved me. He's like, well tell him I like him now.
Right.
Yeah.
And like the name Danzel Washington didn't give it away?
He might have not been there to see the start where I introduced myself and that sort of thing. Maybe he just heard me. But I would do like I thought was, which was funny because he was on Fargo, it was a very like, it was almost like Minnesota, like, oh, hey, the other day there, my wife Midge, she's not a midget, she's just small, is just her name. That was like one of the jokes. They were all just really dumb. And I thought that was also a dead giveaway that this is like a character, that was his voice. But the coolest part that happened at the end of the story. Do you mind if I tell this story the entire podcast?
No,
go ahead.
I love it.
Was
lean back?
I go, yeah, if you don't mind. And I do the show again. And now I have this in my head that I think this guy hates me. I'm not sure if he likes me. I don't know what to think anymore. And I'm going to do the show, and one of the guys running the show says, hey, Odenkirk's dropping in tonight. And now I'm like, oh my God, I was just going to work on new stuff. Now I'm terrified because I'm like, I need to redeem myself. And I wasn't going to do this character. I was just working on. And so I get there, and the one time, people put me up first a lot, and like, I don't know if people know about comedy out there, but when you start,
that's good in the business, right, Sam?
Yeah, the best. You know.
The best.
Yeah,
It
when
means you're doing something right.
Totally. But no, they're always like, you have great energy. We like to get this show started. You obviously come huge. And so since I started where you start doing your first up on the night, a lot of times I still get that because people like my energy. So then that one day I was like, hey, man, do you mind? And this was before I knew Odenkirk. I was like, do you mind if I don't go up? Like, I've been doing this 10 years at the time. And I was like, can I go up like fourth or whatever? And they're like, sure. So I'm waiting there, and Odenkirk's not there. The MC's done. The first guy gets on stage, and Odenkirk walks in. And usually when he comes, he's like, I don't mean comes. Well, I do. No, but usually when he shows up, he kind of does a set and takes off. So I think, oh my God, I asked to not go first. Odenkirk's here. I need to redeem, and he's going to take off before he even gets to see me. I'm an idiot. And then, before that even happened, I'm just sitting there watching the show, and I turn around and I go, oh my God, that's Key and Peele. And they were just at the show in Calgary. And I was like, nobody saw them because they came in late, and they're just saying, and I was like, hey guys, I think you guys are awesome. So funny. Are you guys going up tonight? Are you looking for time? They're like, no, we're just here to see our friend, Bob. And I was like, oh, okay. So he's showing up. So then he shows up. I asked them, hey, are you sticking around for the show? They said, no, we're done when Bob leaves. We're going to take off. And I said, do you mind if I get a picture with you guys before you go? And they're like, cool. And then,
Oscar winner.
Yeah, Oscar winner now. I'm getting to it. I came up with the movie, but I mentioned it to him that night. I was like, what if? Anyways, I'll get there, but thanks for jumping the gun there, guy. We go outside, and I'm getting pictures of Key and Peele, and Odenkirk walks by and goes, this is the guy. And I thought I had missed my opportunity, right? Because I was on first. And they're like, this is the guy? And he's like, this is the guy. And I was like, what is happening right there? He's like, this is the guy I told my wife about. He's like, I didn't like you. I thought you were this guy I started with that I didn't love. And blah, blah, blah. And he's like, then I heard it was a character. And I thought it was so great. And the whole time I'm just like, this is the coolest thing to ever happen to me in comedy. And this is happening in Calgary, not in LA or wherever. And I'm literally just waiting for him to go, to go like, do you want to be in Fargo? Where's my opportunity? But then the really cool thing happened was he's telling Key and Peele about the thing, a little more about the thing. And at that moment, they run downstairs and go, Chris, you're up. You got to go on. And I had to brush them off being like, sorry, guys, I got to go do my set. And it felt really cool. But then Odenkirk goes, oh man, are you doing the character? And I said, no, I'm just doing my own stuff. And he goes, hey guys, let's go back in and watch him. And
nice.
I was like, oh, this is good. And I was like terrified. And then I went up, and I was a little nervous at first, but then it was a super good set. And now I'm on season 5 of Fargo.
Aww. Are you really?
No. But never.
Finally, I was going to be impressed about something in this story.
Never saw any of them again. I gave them my card. That always works out, right? Instead of getting their information, I just give them mine. Like a hot girl or whatever. You're like, here's my number, and then yeah. But that was a really long story. But I've never told it anywhere else.
Well, perfect. We appreciate you telling it here.
Is time up?
Exclusive.
Yeah. Thank you much for coming in, Chris.
Bob Odenkirk, if you're listening, please contact me. Also, Key and Peele.
You're listening to What's So Funny on CFRO 100.5 FM, Vancouver Co-op Radio. I'm Guy McPherson. Chris Gordon is here telling Bob Odenkirk stories for the hour, and Sam Tawning is in the other room. Chris, so that was a good story, because you started off by saying he hated me, and then it turns out it was a big love fest.
And so that's my shortest Bob Odenkirk story.
Okay.
If I could get into one of the longer ones to finish this off.
Hey, I want to know, last year at the Comedy Fest, by the way, the JFL Northwest Comedy Fest just ended, and you were here performing, and you'll be here next week, too, at the Comedy Mix.
Yeah.
MCing for
Mike Vecchione.
American comic. I think you are too, yeah. Mm-hmm. But where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, last year I saw you on Andy Kindler's show at the Rio. This year it was at Yuck Yucks. Last year it was at the Rio. Mm-hmm. And you headlined when Colin Quinn and a couple other, who else? Todd Glass, I think, was on that show.
Colin Quinn.
But who did they get to bring it home?
Thank you very
Chris
much.
Gordon, Canada's smartest comic.
Oh, yeah.
They did scale the show, like it started dumbest and went to smartest for the comics. Yeah. That God, I feel like I'm going to be the guy who has all the stories tonight, the name droppy stories. But you brought it up.
I know. I love it when people name drop.
It was
some comics won't do it.
It was,
but I'm glad that you will.
I love doing it. My friend Jim Carrey does it all the time. Anyways, no, but Kevin Banner was opening for Colin Quinn right before that show.
Yes.
Because Colin was doing his own show and then stuck around to the alt show spot. And he's like, hey, come show up and hang out. I was like, okay. So I come early and I walk in and I see the list and I see that I'm last. And I've never met Colin before. So I walk. Oh, and who else was there? It was, he just passed away. Crimmins.
Barry Crimmins.
Yeah. That was very sad to hear. But he was there, and I had met Barry earlier that week. But I don't know if I just was feeling confident, but I just go to Kevin, I go, watch this. And I walk up to Colin Quinn, and I go, hey, Colin, I'm Chris Gordon. I'm the headliner for this evening. Like, I'm your headliner. And then, right away, he loved it and started joking around. I took my shirt off when I went
for
to
him.
Yeah, well, I went to the bathroom and did the classic gag where you come out with a shirt off, like the sort of George Costanza thing. But he loved it right away. And Colin Quinn, I'll tell you what, that guy is handsome. He is a charmer. He is like...
We don't think of Colin Quinn as handsome.
Thank you. And I a couple guys I've seen like that where you're like... in the industry or whatever on TV, you're like, oh, he's kind of the every guy. He's I don't know if I want to say schlubby, but he's kind of like, you don't think of him that way, or the surly, whatever. That and Dave Coulier, both in real life, you're like, God, these guys are charming and handsome.
Wow.
Which means like super celebrity good looking people are that good looking.
Right.
Because these in real life, like Colin Quinn is like...
Funny you didn't mention that about Bob Odenkirk.
I should mention Bob Odenkirk his pecs are stunning. Oh my God, stunning pecs. Yeah, his pecs were stunning. No, even you're right. Actually, even Odenkirk. Now that I think back, like you see him, Better Call Saul, this guy, but like in real life, you're like, this guy has a jawline, and you're like Dave Coulier. You're like, do you have pipes? Do you have like arms? Like, what's going on here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
Sam just verified he does.
Which just goes to show how truly handsome the leading men are.
Yes.
When regular people on TV, you just in comparison, you see him and you go, Colin Quinn, he's nothing. But when you see him in person, next to the likes of Kevin Banner, oh my God.
And if people... Wow, you're out for blood against Banner right now. You're going to be in trouble. If people are also wondering the status of my boner during this male conversation of sexuality, it is raging still. It is not going anywhere.
Can verify. Yes.
I know a lot of people know me as a super heterosexual comedian. Smart. Super hetero, super smart. That's what a lot of people say. But yeah, this conversation has kept the blood flow.
Good, great. Well, how about this? This will bring it down.
Okay.
I saw you last Monday for the Vancouver Comedy Awards. Now, this is interesting because I said in the What's So Funny blog today, by the way, it's now available on the internet, that the What's So Funny show was nominated for Best Comedy Podcast at the Vancouver Comedy Awards. We lost. Sam Tawney was nominated for Rampant Male Shirtlessness.
Yeah, I didn't know why until I realized that I have removed my shirt, like not on stage, a bunch of times.
Not on stage.
Yeah, like my pictures taken in magazines and stuff.
Oh, I see.
I've seen you remove it on stage to get people to buy drinks.
Oh yeah. Oh God, I don't even remember that. But yes.
yeah. Good point. But Sam was a loser too, and I said it's a show of losers because Chris Gordon, our guest, was a loser. But then it occurred to me, no, you're a two-time loser.
Two-time loser.
Yeah, Sam and I just lost once.
Yeah. Guys, the first time I met Will Smith, it was, I just go into another. No, yeah, I lost. I was actually more upset about the losing best merchandise than I was the shirtlessness.
Because clearly yours is the best?
Yeah.
Okay. I think most varied, probably. You have lots of different.
I have Baron Wolf shirts. I have Baron Wolf pins.
Those are like bear shirts and wolf shirts.
Yeah,
not
fluorescent.
Baron Wolf together.
Yeah, go to bestkarateBody.com, hit merchandise. You'll see them. I also have samurai swords I have sold in the past. I've sold, they're both bamboo, they're toys. And is that working? Are you bringing it up?
Yeah, Best Karate Body, BESTKARATE.
Yeah.
BODY.
Yeah.
.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to hilariouscomedian.com. That'll probably work.
Okay, but does it not just reroute right to there? Okay, maybe I have to pay my bill on that. Anyways, but yeah, samurai swords, barefaced beer bottle openers. Oh, guys, and I got this. I'll just do a live pitch on air.
Oh, good. Yeah.
It is a bear sound gun, and if you're wondering what that means,
Good Lord.
I know,
a bear in the studio.
yeah, and the way I tell people is like if you're on a hike, right, and then like you forgot your bear mace or your bear bells or your bear cannons or your balls, you just bring this and hit that. But you're like, Chris, what happens if I run into a wolf?
I love that. How much do those go for?
I'm not done with the pitch, but and you're like, Chris, what happens if I run into a loon?
That is freaky coming out of a bear's mouth.
That one goes forever. And then there's the one that, like, Sam's mom. It's a cougar. It's a cougar, Sam's mom. It's an older woman who smokes, and you like to have sex with her. There's also an eagle on here, but it sounds... Someone's like, that sounds like a seagull. And I was like, no, okay, maybe it does. That's a seagull,
yeah, it's a
right?
seagull
That's totally
taking
a
off
seagull.
with your
But I
lunch.
said, but then I could be like, yeah, I said it's eagle. Okay, I don't know. Sam shook his head.
How much does that go for?
$20.
Wow.
I know, two for
30.
$30.
Can I hold on to it?
Yeah, of course. You have to make sure it's right on the animal, or it won't play the sound. You can't be in between.
Oh, that's the cougar. Wolf, eagle.
That's not on your website.
I know it's not yet. I've been.
You created this? You invented this?
I'm a total inventor. I'm super smart, and that's just how I use it. And this doesn't win best merch. Get out of town. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I love this.
I know.
But so you would use this when you're out in the woods?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a real
survival
outdoorsman's
tool. Yeah. And if you buy one of the cast iron barefaced beer bottle openers, then you also have an opener for the woods when you run into those 6-packs.
Do any of the merch mention Chris Gordon, comedian?
Oh yeah, there's a setting for that, right? That's hilariouscomedian.com and Wolf. I got it. I'm pretty smart. Anyways,
maybe that's why you didn't win best merch, because it's not really related.
Damn, he just found my merch online.
Yeah, totally. It's for sale right now.
How much is it listed for?
I don't. Do you want me to say?
Oh, let me see.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. What's that say? Yeah. Definitely say mine's cheaper. That's $22.
Oh yeah.
So you're saving people.
Also, I might need that link later. Okay.
You're losing money on each one.
If you go on Amazon, these are $30. That's all I'm saying.
You lost to the Lady Show merch.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, what was their merch?
The ladies.
I've seen hats.
Yeah.
That's what they have. They are very cool hats, actually.
Yeah.
A lot of people have those. Okay. I think that's all they have.
That's
I don't
all
really
they
know.
have.
Yeah.
And, okay.
I know.
So maybe you need to concentrate on quality over quantity.
Ooh, okay. Everyone heard that
Chris Gordon
that I just did, right?
Quality over quantity.
And then at the award show, it was a fun night, by the way, hosted by Graham Clark and Paul Anthony. The Rampant Male Shirtlessness Award. You didn't win. You lost to Chris
Griffin.
Yeah. And now you could just say, well, maybe that was like a mistake because Chris, they were.
That's a very good point. It happens to us all the time.
But you went up and you read your acceptance speech anyway. So really, you are a winner. Probably the people there who weren't taking notes of who all the winners were, they'll go home and they'll think, oh yeah, Chris Gordon.
He won twice because they also, like on the merch thing, I yelled out that I was selling merch after the show. Only one doing that. Only one yelling out and brought merch. And then Graham asked to see what this bear gun was, so I pitched the bear gun there too. So you are right. There are people that probably had been drinking and just remember me on stage twice and figure I won those awards.
In your sequin jacket.
Yeah.
Very sparkly. Very nice.
I glittered my chest hair.
Did you?
Yeah.
But you had a shirt on, didn't you?
No, there's no shirt under the...
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't even notice
That's
that.
how much chest hair there is. So you thought it was a fully woven
I
shirt.
was looking at my legs.
God, if I could get your legs on my chest. You know what I mean?
I have so much
You know what I mean?
chest hair on my legs.
Oh, yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, it is weird. But another weird thing, though, is that you
This
were
beard is all pubic hair.
that you were nominated at all because it's the Vancouver Comedy Awards.
Yeah, and I did end one of my speeches with "I'm from Calgary," so that was fun. I know. And Kathleen McGee before that she put it in my head. She's like, "How are you on this? You're from Calgary," and then that's why I said it.
Maybe that's why you didn't win. People just
I think that was part of it.
resented
People don't. Yeah, they're angry. But I'm here all the
You're
time.
here all the time, so it is
I feel
confusing.
like the comedy mix. Everybody in Canada thinks I'm from Vancouver, like comedy wise. They think, and the comedy mix brings me in, and plus island gigs and all sorts of stuff. But 3 times to host and once to headline. So in reality, it's kind of my home club, which is weird because that's the most I'm coming into a club.
Which club do you work at in Calgary?
I work
Or is it more the independent rooms?
kind of everywhere. I do the Comedy Cave, new location downtown, guys, and the Laugh Shop sometimes, and Yuck Yucks occasionally. They love me. When you're the smartest comic in Canada, everyone's just chomping at your gaunch. Is that a smart thing to say?
Well, it's something.
Is there a...
Selling shirts that say chomping at your gaunch now. Those would be good.
You'll win the merch award.
And with pi on the back. Not like pi, but like 3.14, but all the numbers. so as they know I'm smart.
very small print, all the way down your back. Is there a prototypical Alberta comic?
You're listening to him right now. Here we are. We sell bear merch and with animal sounds. Yeah, we have a lot of chest hair. Uncountable, is that the word? Amount of women I've slept with. And inconceivable, uncrumpetable. Is that, Sam, are you looking this up? Okay.
Uncrumpetable is probably the best.
A lot of breakfast bitches. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly what they think. Oh my God, do you want to hear Simon King do Cat Williams impression? God, guys.
Why not?
I was
right.
I was in the car with him last night, and he does all these.
He does great impressions.
So good. And we were watching the Cat Williams special at my place.
That's all somebody like him needs. Is just that voice in his ear, and boom, it's coming out his mouth.
I know.
Jacksonville.
It's just one clap.
Man, the other day I was eating ice cream like I'm licking pussy. It was chocolate ice cream because I fuck within my race. In Jacksonville.
All right, Simon King.
Well, guess who swore on the radio, Simon? Why would you do that? I kind of forgot those were in there, but it was very funny. Everything just became Ville. Jacksonville. Because when he starts his special, he says it like 100 times. And we decided everywhere he goes, it's way too hot. And then someone in the audience is like, take off your fur coat. And because he's always wearing like a suit. And then everywhere's so hot and the women are crazy. So it'll be like, tuck, tuck, yuck, tuck.
He's insane.
Bill.
It's so hot in Tuckville, and your women are crazy. And then someone in the crowd's like, it's actually pretty cold. We haven't seen women in years.
This is Minnesota.
What's that? Minnesota. Yeah, this is Minnesota.
Micah Sierra Williams.
That's his full name?
Micah Sierra Williams.
Micah Sierra Williams.
Cat. Where does Cat come from?
So he's won tennis championships. Is that correct?
Well, close enough.
Sierra. Okay.
It all looks the same on print.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that ended
So why
that way.
I asked if you're a prototypical Alberta comic, because I think you're not. But then it got me wondering, well, what is there one? Is there, like when you see a comic, you go, boom, you can tell. Yeah, they're
Right.
probably from Alberta.
I don't know. And yeah, maybe because I'm a weirdo that's why they think I'm from Vancouver. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that I feel like that's kind of an old stereotype too, the Alberta thing, because I was just talking to a couple comics that were here from Edmonton, and they kind of felt like, I'm being judged, that I feel bad and like I shouldn't be from there. But I don't think their comedy, I just belch in the middle of that. Anyways, not from Alberta. No, but they don't think their comedy reflects that. So I think it's, and I've said this since the start, of being weird in a place that's seen as like, I don't know, you want to call us hicks or whatever. I don't. Rednecks. Rednecks, maybe?
I don't want to. I was just wondering if there are regionalisms, within Canada. Is there you think of the Maritimes or Newfoundland, there is a prototypical style of comedy.
Right.
Maybe Vancouver and Toronto, maybe you could tell the difference. I can't, because people from Toronto come here. We get them. Or they even live here and assimilate.
It's a controversial thing to say in Vancouver now, Guy.
I think the only thing, people ask me it like the other way, like, do you find differences in audiences? But I always thought Vancouver, like, if there was anything, it would be like, oh yeah, Vancouver's can be a little like, PC, like, oh, we shouldn't be talking about that. But then you get the exact same response from the opposite side in Ottawa, where they're conservative and they're like, I don't think we should be talking about that. It just becomes like the same thing. But in reality, I think it's like funny's funny anywhere. I mean, you heard Cat Williams.
Exactly.
It's funny's funny.
Hey, I gotta say, it just seems like I just said it, but I mean, all these stories of celebrity encounters from Chris Gordon take some time. But you are listening to What's So Funny, the show, and the station is CFRO Vancouver Co-op Radio. In the wilderness, the downtown east side. I am Guy McPherson, and Sam Tonning is holding his head in the other room.
And I'm Chris Gordon.
Here on Hinterland's Who's Who.
Hinterland's Who's Who. That's great.
Chris.
Welcome back to Anne of Green Gables. Anne's been attacked by a cougar. Okay. I don't know what's happening, but I'd like to see it.
So why don't you just move to Vancouver?
I know everybody asks me that, but I know you
Especially
guys
the
want
Calgary
me here.
comics.
I know you guys want me here. Yes. When are you moving? Why do they keep asking? I want to start lying and just say I live wherever I want, because I feel like I'm on tour forever.
You're a bit of a free spirit.
Yeah, I'm a free spirit. Well, you heard it, right? You heard my free spirit.
Okay, enough.
You heard my free
Enough.
spirit. I can't get it right on the... It squeaks when you turn it, and then...
The squeaking. That sounds good.
That's
Sounds
just-
like a rodent.
Yeah, rat noise.
Oh, there's a sixth sound effect.
Oh, no, it's the rats.
Yeah, it's a rat. That's a pizza rat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Why aren't you in L.A.?
I know, I would love to be, but...
you've spent some time in L.A.
These guns are full of cocaine, and I can't get them over the border. And I also can't get the the Conan special, or the cocaine out. It's very frustrating to have something so good inside of something also good. You know what I mean?
How many of those?
each, eh?
How many of those do you
Only
have?
$20 each?
Yeah.
How many of those do you have?
This is my last one,
Oh,
guy.
okay.
So if you want to, I'd get what you're getting out of here. And if you want to purchase it, give you a deal, $15, pretty good deal. Because there's 5 sound effects now with the rat. So
Yeah. But you did spend time in L.A. and you performed at the what are the clubs there?
I performed at the Laugh
Comedy-
Factory. I've done a spot at the Comedy Store. I've done an
Comedy Store,
Improv.
yeah.
I've done other fun shows like Hot Tub.
Oh, yeah, great.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel
And
like you just said that.
No, that's a well-known show.
Oh, okay.
That
Well-
moved from New York to L.A.
I didn't even know that. Sort of
sure
like
it
me.
did.
Kind of like me. Yeah, some fun like indie shows that are popular. And at the Meltdown, they have lots of shows at the Meltdown Comics. My buddy Eddie has a show there for a while, doing a live podcast.
Eddie De La Siepe.
Eddie De La Siepe. I don't only drop celebrity names, but I also drop friends that I would like to them to be celebrities too.
One day.
Yeah,
one
one day.
he will. And how do you go over down there when you do the sets? So you say you were a bit nervous when you had to go up in front of Key and Peele and Bob Odenkirk. And now you don't know who's in these stores. There's a lot of comics you respect and admire there.
Yeah. It can be a little more nerve-wracking just because you do get comfortable in working the clubs and stuff like that, which is always weird. It's always like a mind F word to get around that, because you're like, this is just another like stage. It's just I should feel comfortable anywhere.
Right.
But sometimes it gets to me. I try not to get it in my head. The way I try and get it out of my head is by putting a lot of beers into my head, and then I get that out of my head, and then I go on stage. Sam, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, you like to it's all a show, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, no, I never.
I'll drink your beer.
Thank you.
It's all near beer.
Yeah, it's all near beer.
Those come in
It's
bottles.
all. It's all nair. Yeah, it's all nair for my chest hair legs.
And then you studied a bit with the Groundlings while you were there?
Yeah, that was a while ago. I did some summer stints down there where we would take Groundlings improv courses, UCB improv courses, some writing courses at Improv Olympic. And they were all like, I think they're mostly offered like once every week. Yeah, once every week, or once, it's a longer schedule, but then they do these intensives for people that want to just come down and do it in a one shot, and we did a bunch of those. So it was like kind of weird. It was like a full semester. Oh, yes. My ex-girlfriend, Amanda Brooke Perrin, I forget her name. Anyways, she is also a comedian, and I think I just saw she's coming up here for a Yuck Yucks show.
Yeah.
Female Invasion.
The monthly.
Okay, I don't know. I was making it up. I didn't know it was monthly. Yes. I think that's a period reference.
Well,
It is, I think. Okay. But yeah, she...
So you and her went down and...
in the second year, we were staying in Peter Clamps' pool house.
Oh, yeah, I
Peter
know
Clamps.
that.
You know the pool house?
Well, I haven't been there.
Peter Calamus is a pool house?
Yeah, little
Yeah.
pool house. A lot of people, like laneway houses here,
Yeah.
which I thought were...
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah, and we broke up 2 weeks into it on the second time down, not the first time. And
2 weeks in, out of how long were you going to be there?
8 weeks.
So 2 weeks in, you break up, and then for the following 6 weeks, you're together.
Yeah.
Yeah, how was that?
It's probably some of the best times of my life.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. I just had to ask. Because...
Yeah. No, it was great. I recommend it to anybody. If you're going to end up breaking up with somebody, you should stay in a small one-bedroom pool house for the rest of the summer.
Yeah. Book a nice vacation for, say, 2 months.
Correct.
Early on, break up.
Early on, very early on.
Yeah, that's key.
As I was working on, this is going to sound like it was more of a chance than it was for me, but I was working on like an SNL packet to give to a buddy, to give to his agent to maybe represent, and then she was like, I think we need to talk, and I was like, but right now, because this has to... women. Anyways, the monthly, she's on, and go check her out. Maybe heckle her for that. She ruined my chance at SNL. We all heard it.
You could have just gone back to working on the packet after she told you.
Okay. Okay. I could have, and I think I did, but it's hard to push down the keys when they were all wet from tears.
Oh yeah, tears.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like breaking up gets me going.
No,
And then I gotta-
beer.
Oh, I thought you
drinking
meant-
your
I thought you meant-
sadness away.
I thought you meant the other thing.
You have a raging boner right now.
Yeah, I
still.
thought you were, well, we're talking about an ex.
Okay. So, do you do improv?
I'm
Canada?
sorry, rephrase that? Okay.
I know your stand-up sets are very improv-like.
Yeah.
I don't know how much.
Oh, you're saying I'm unprepared.
I don't know, because you're loose and fun, and there's
ripped.
an improv element to it.
It's abs. I'm mostly, like, when I improv, it's mostly with my abs.
But when you go, when I think of improv, it's usually with a few other people, and you're taking suggestions, and you're creating little scenes.
Yeah.
Which is not your stand-up.
No. But I did do improv for a while, but in Calgary, it was on the weekends. And I always
Loose
thought it was,
Moose?
Yeah. And I always thought it was something I would do first. Because I was so scared to get into anything. I had horrible stage fright.
When you were starting
Just
out.
starting out, yeah. And I thought, because I loved SNL, Saturday Night Live. So
Yeah,
I thought,
we're familiar with
okay,
the acronym.
for some of the people. It'd be funny if I got it wrong. Anyways, Saturday late live. And no, I went and stood on stage first doing joke stand-up because I just wanted to see if I could be funny. But then I did some improv there at the Loose Moose, and it was really fun. But then as I got better at stand-up, I started getting paid work on the weekends, so then I'd miss the improv, and there wasn't a lot of like paid improv stuff, so it was like kind of an easy choice. Plus, I kind of ended up realizing I liked the freedom of stand-up because it's just you, and it's complete control, but complete freedom then, because I get to talk about whatever I want. So
when did you become the fully formed weirdo that you are now on stage? Because it takes a level of comfort and confidence to be able to do that. First of all, what were you when you were starting out? How long did that last?
I have my first 16 on tape. And people, I haven't watched it in a while, but I would wear a short. What's that?
3 nights ago.
Yeah, I watched it. I watch it every day. No, it was short sleeve dress shirt with a tie, but like a leather cuff. It was like, I'm hip, but I'm serious. I don't know. And people said I kind of was like Chris Farley-ish, like just my delivery. And because
your weight.
Okay, settle down. I was a little better then. I've gained a few, but I've been in prison for years. I'm wearing a striped shirt. People don't get that, I guess.
Yeah.
You look at the pictures on the Facebook page. So what was I going to say?
How you dressed when you were starting out?
How I dressed. The delivery, I guess, was a little bit Farley.
So still that sort of absurd, bigger than life kind of character.
Right. Okay, that's what I was going to say. The second time I ever went on stage, I decided to take off the dress shirt, just wear the tie and everything else. And then my opening joke was like, do you ever wake up in the morning and be like, I think I forgot something. I can't figure it out. And that was it. I didn't have any more than that. And then I just went into regular jokes after that. And the comics loved it. They're like, why did you do that? Why were you? And I was like, I don't know. In my head, I was like, if any of these jokes don't work, at least that's funny. But then I remember the club manager there kind of talking to me after and being like, we kind of write jokes. And I totally scared me off of doing anything too weird. And then
too physical or gimmicky.
Yeah, it's something. And so I'd like concentrate on writing jokes for a while because I was so just nervous in the beginning too. Being scared, stage fright was like my biggest thing, puking before shows, all that stuff. And then for somebody to say something like that when I was kind of going out there reeled me in. But then I remember kind of my second year of comedy, also was hard to be weird at first. If you're just weird at first, it's like it doesn't equate. It's sort of
There's
like
no foundation.
It's like you haven't learned how to be funny yet and get people to trust that you're funny before you can get, or you don't have the confidence in the weirdness or the character. So I've talked to a few comedians about that, and I think it was Simon who said that. Yeah, it's like first you learn how to be funny, then you can kind of like experiment and stuff. But my second year was seeing Rory Scovel and John Dord, name dropping, two great friends of mine. We hang out all the. They were gonna come here tonight. But they were so weird and there at the same time, and it was such a great eye opener for me to be like, yeah, there aren't any rules. Like you're allowed to just be funny however you want. So it kind of reinvigorated the Chris, who took his shirt off guy who wanted to be really weird, and gave me the confidence to be like, think like, oh yeah, you're allowed to be funny in any way. But yeah, it's a weird mix of like, you can't just be weird, or people are like, this is just weird, right? You got to still be funny.
Yeah, you need that foundation. Yeah, it's like anything. You got to know the rules first before you can break them.
Yeah, I
whether
guess.
it's in writing or in sports.
Yeah. They say that with improv too, like to misbehave and not do the right thing. It's like you need to learn how to be funny and within the rules, and then breaking them is like the most fun. I think I started to get too much into that.
But
then you see great improvisers and they're breaking rules all the time. They're just like hilarious, and they do what kind of get away with stuff.
Yeah.
I always liked, that was the tough part going between improv and stand-up, because stand-up is all you, and then you're always looking for the laugh, but not always in improv. You're still trying to build a story and stuff. So I was never good at like leading a scene. But it would be fun to perform with those guys because it would be fun to mess around. Like they'd be doing some sort of space work, miming like cooking, obviously like cooking soup, and I would be like, oh man, you're putting a record on? Awesome. And right away they're like, they have to pause, and it's like, yeah, I thought I'd put on, and then it was great because he'd do it back to me as I'm doing something something, he would change it on me, and that became like a fun game that the audience could see.
So you knew what he was miming, and you purposely tried to
I changed it. Like, it's
somewhere else.
obviously he's cutting onions or whatever.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like
and I'm
that
like,
kind of
oh, you're
improv.
disemboweling a child. And he's like, yeah, well, it had to go. Because you're supposed to yes and, right? You got to go with it. My favorite thing to do was AIDSing a scene. I would come in... As soon as I could drop the I have AIDS bomb on a scene was my favorite. And I've actually tried to like think if I could do this as a stand-up bit, like how I would talk about that. But I remember trying it and thinking this is bad. And it's one of my like neuroses, like being scared of like something like that happening to me.
Like, you're a hypochondriac.
Yeah, so think something like that comes out sometimes in comedy. And this wasn't on a live show. I think I did it a bunch of times on a live show, but usually there's a director, and I thought he might be mad at me, but a lot of problems in improv happen when nothing happens. People are just talking and nobody makes a choice. So this is like how the scene went. It's like I walk in the door and she's like, honey, how was your day at work? I'm like, not so good. I found out I have AIDS. Like right away. It's just like, and it gets a huge laugh and she's shocked, and then he loved it. And it was like, well, that's my thing now.
Now you got something to work with.
Yeah.
You
You
can
can
really...
every scene.
Well, what was the suggestion? Do you remember that? Like, what was it supposed to be?
A spatula.
Or someone specifically like, nothing about AIDS. You're like, got it. No, I don't know if that was a suggestion scene or if they just said it. I don't think there was suggestions from the audience on that one.
Hey, Sam, have you ever done improv?
Yes, a little bit.
And?
That's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
I mean, it's, it's fun.
There's moments where you can get like just insanely huge laughs.
Oh, sure.
Because everybody, I mean, there are tricks to improv too, right? Like it's like people don't know, but they see improv as, I've seen the like worst improv and nobody's enjoying it, but then the scene ends, everyone's like,
Exactly.
and they clap, and you're like, imagine a stand-up just bombing, and everyone's like, well, come on.
Yeah,
you did
they
a
tried.
Yeah, they tried.
Yeah.
But it's just clapping. It's not laughing and clapping.
No, not so much. Yeah.
Polite. Yeah, appreciate
polite.
your effort.
I don't know. The improv, what I noticed was like kind of dumb laughs got big laughs. Like dumb things got big
And
laughs.
that's why I was pretty good at it.
No, you're a very smart comic.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
I have
already
AIDS.
forgot.
But just that's what my biggest thing is. It was dumbness, dumbnity.
Thank you.
But you like that. Dumb isn't necessarily a pejorative.
No, absolutely
No,
not.
yeah.
No, it's just like okay,
Silly fun.
Yeah, pratfall gets huge laughs, and that why can't there be more of that in stand-up?
Well, you could tell it's nearing midnight because Chris is on his phone now. He's lost. We've lost him.
Sorry, I'm just looking at what pejorative means. Expressing contempt or disapproval. Okay, now I'm just looking at what
See, he is
contempt
smart.
means.
He could spell it, so that is a good thing. Hey, I saw you hosting at Yuck Yucks during the festival. Your B-sides.
Oh, yeah.
show. Besides,
Yeah.
and it was comics doing material that could they do it in their regular act, or they just don't have the confidence in it, or this stuff
It's always
doesn't go over as well.
a tough one to explain marketing wise, because you don't want to be like, these are comics that doing jokes that people hate and they're gonna bomb. But it's sort of jokes comics love to do, but for one reason or another they don't get away with it. Maybe it's a clean comic doing dirty stuff and he can never get away with it, but he's got some, like I tried to get Ivan on the show, but he wasn't in town. Ivan Decker, and it would be awesome to watch him work dirty for a while because he's so clean.
I've seen Brent Budd on a dirty show.
Oh yeah,
That
which
was
was
great.
probably really fun.
Yeah.
I got drunk the other night and just was doing an impression of Ivan to Ivan and then posting on his Facebook.
Is
It
that
was
on Friday?
yeah, that was the best.
You were doing an impression of Ivan?
Yeah.
How does it sound like him?
Ever tried to juice an avocado? You got nothing. It's the nothing part that sounds more like him. But I just kept saying that all night. But you ever tried to juice a pussy? Okay, and see, that could be Dirty Ivan. We don't know.
That's definitely Dirty Chris.
I like when I say stuff like that and I look over at Guy and then I'm like, oh, it's over. Because you look like you're a little scared. But it's not only that, so it could be like Simon King was doing impressions because he doesn't usually do those anymore, so that's his B-side. It could be a joke. Sometimes the reason I thought of this partly is because Sometimes you write a joke, you're like, this is going to be hilarious, and then you try it, and it doesn't get, like, a great response, and then you try something super dumb that you don't think, and then they love it, and you're like, well, I guess I'm keeping that, unfortunately. And then sometimes people come up to you and go, why don't you ever tell that earnest joke you tell? And then I'm like, well, because, like, 3 people love it, and 90 people, like, hate it. And then that's sort of the spot for B-sides. And it's a nice cushion on a show like that where you set it up, and you're like, these are jokes comics love to tell, or sides of them you haven't seen. It's the only time, because I would love to get, like, Kyle Kinane came and closed the show.
Yeah.
And apparently the feedback from him to me personally, because we're good friends, and we hang out all the time. He was going to come here tonight, but he couldn't make it. And he said he was great because he doesn't get to always tell those jokes. So it's also built towards the comedy nerd who, like, loves. It would be great to watch. I don't know if Bill Burr would have a B-sides. I would hope so. But somebody, big names drop in like that, and then you get to see something. And if these became their A-sides, great. But a lot of this is like, comics have fleshed this out. It's not just new material, and it just hasn't stuck with them in their regular act.
Yeah, like Kyle Kinane was doing real short form jokes, and I think of him as this long storyteller.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
And is this a show you put on regularly throughout the year in different places?
So I was working... Right now, it's just at Just for Laughs Northwest. It's
exclusive.
Exclusive, too, yes. So we've done 2 years of it now, and maybe, hopefully, we get to pick up traction somewhere else. But right now, we're kind of, like, signed with them for this show and doing it here in Vancouver and
cool.
seeing how it goes. Yeah, and Yuck X was a great venue. I'd actually never been to the Vancouver Yuck X before.
Because you're always at the Mix.
I'm always at the Mix, yeah. And we did it last time at the Biltmore, a great venue because it's a rock venue and it's kind of a weird, crazy show. Last time it followed the Just for Laughs showcase, which was perfect because it was like early show, people doing their best stuff, stay for the late show to watch them do their B-sides. So it was kind of the perfect night for that. But then this time, Yucks was a great, it's an interactive show. We like the audience to interact, so Yuck X was a great space for that.
Great, but you did sabotage your chance for a Vancouver Comedy Award because you had Chris Griffin on between every act, dancing around shirtless.
Was he shirtless?
Wasn't he? You got there right at the end. I don't know. I thought he was shirtless because I saw his tattoos or fake tattoos all over his
he was
body.
wearing a tank top.
May as well be shirtless. Yeah.
What are those called? Husband beaters? I don't remember. Anyways.
We hope so.
Chris Gordon, the boners died down, so it's time to go. That's how you know the show's ended.
Oh, do you mind if I play a Boners theme song from my podcast, or do we even have time for that?
Oh, yeah, podcast. Everyone has a podcast, but Chris Gordon. But now you're saying you have one.
Yeah, I was the world's smartest comic in the universe.
You owe it to your fans.
Yeah, I like doing, it's called 5 Questions with Chris. I've only banked a couple so far. I'm going to get a bunch of them. They're going to be very short and very dumb. I ask people 5 questions.
Like short as in 5 minutes or
5 minutes. I mean, if it gets longer, it's going to maybe be max 10 minutes. But in reality, it's just short, fun questions for people to answer. Yeah. And so far, I have an intro, and I'm going to play that. And maybe it'll be a good way to close. I don't know. But here's 5 Questions with Chris intro theme song.
Is there a voiceover on it?
Boners. 5 Questions with Chris. That's me. I'm Chris. Boners. 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 I have a boner. Boners. 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 I have a boner. I'm Chris. I'm asking questions. This is the intro. Will you do my podcast?
That's great.
Thank you.
That's almost the whole time.
Yes,
there
correct.
will be equal amount of music and talking.
I know what you're worried about. There's also an outro, and there's also a break in the middle for a song. So yeah, we'll fill it out. We'll fill it out and get it done.
When can we expect that on iTunes?
God, you know me. I am a quick worker. Probably a couple years from now, when you bring it up again, and I go, oh yeah, that thing I should have done a while ago.
Just as podcasts are dying out, then
yeah, exactly.
spring it on us.
Yeah, it's like a boner.
Like a boner.
Ooh,
you're obsessed.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
This song will make my boner go away, I think.
This is our outro.
Oh, okay. Well, no, that I stick to my words.
It's to bring their listeners down and set them off to sleep.
Aw, it's kind of nice.
Thanks, Chris. Nice talking with you.
Hey,
Fun.
thanks for having me.
Yeah, and
Next time, maybe no Sam.
Yeah, well, maybe. Hey, Sam, how long have you been with the show now? Has it been a year?
Over a year, yeah.
Has it been over a year?
Oh, about a year. Yeah.
Maybe
Still
this
on
was,
audition.
This was the anniversary show.
That's what I thought. I thought big special guest for the Sam Tonning, right?
Gotta go,
Anniversary.
Chris.
Okay.
See you next week.
Thanks. I'll be here.